Hello and welcome to episode 13 of Bread.li. And this one we're going to get back into technical stuff. I'm going to say technical stuff when it's to do with code, and then non-technical when it's not to do with code. That's going to be my difference or differentiation between the two. So not really that kind of technical. And in the last one we were talking about like all the management systems and that, and one of them was waffle.io, and this is where I'm looking now to see what we've got to do, and one of them is this, which is move Baking Bread.li into blog or /blog, and this was the plan. All the videos are on just the homepage now, and it looks pretty like rubbishy. It does the job, and my intentions were not to change it until I got round to actually doing this in the video. I don't want to set up a nice looking blog, and then not show how to do it, because that's the whole point of these videos, is to show me building all this stuff. And so it's got to this point where it needs moving over to a blog section, because this isn't the main point of the site. This is the main point of the build process, and so I need to move them over into articles, which suits the kind of reason for these videos. They're documenting the development process, so they should go on kind of a development blog. And I got one person. This is the only person, so thank you to, I'm going to say Timo. Or Timo. I'll say Timo because that sounds a bit better. Sorry if I pronounce it wrong. Anyway, he says he agrees pretty much with the whole point, and I agree, but there's going to be nothing on the homepage, so I'm going to have to put a link on there to say visit the blog for more info, just as like that's on the homepage and that's it. And I think we'll go with that. We'll just get these. We need to get blog running. We need to get like one of the main plus points of Jekyll rolling, which is the blog feature. That's what everyone uses Jekyll for these days. They use it for their site and have some like basic information on there, but mainly for blog purposes or blogging purposes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this into ready, as in like, so we've got ready, and then we've got in progress. So let's put it into in progress. I'm going to put it into in progress, and then I'm going to create a branch, I think, for this kind of additional feature. I did a bit of cleaning up on the repo and cleaned out the branches that we weren't using, like the gem stuff or the package manager stuff that we went through. Excuse me. So we've just got master and GH pages now. And so what we can do is, I'm going to do another git pull just to make sure. Already up to date. We're all good. We're all good. So what we can do is do git. Is it git checkout? I think it's git checkout B for branch, and then we want to add enable blog. Yay! There we go. So we're checking out the head or the top of this branch, or checking out the top of master and checking it out into a new branch. And that's called enable blog. So this is what we're on. We're on enable blog. Cool. And what I shall do is quickly shift over to the issues panel. So we're in progress. If you look, I've changed some of the colors. So I've changed ready to green and in progress to yellow. And then if we go back a bit, we can see that I've got all these in the kind of a bit more appropriate colors. So green is ready. I guess that means ready to work on from Waffle. And then we've got in progress, so actually being worked on. And there isn't a done, that's closed. And then bugs and development and everything, I changed into a few better colors so they make a bit more sense. What I'm trying to recall is the command to run this thing. So I'm going to do bundle exec Jekyll serve watch. Cool. Okay, so that is right. And then I'm just going to copy this command. And let's get localhost up. There we go. There's the Bread.li site with all the videos on it that we need to shift over. And if we go into our site in Finder, we can, where are we going? Oh yes, I'm going to put this command into the README. Local server. I'm going to quickly check this in. It's all in Markdown, so kind of easy. So what we're doing, we want to cd into Bread.li, and then run the command. Local installation. Cool. Let's just close that, and I'm going to do a new tab and check our thing. So git commit am, so we can just commit everything. And we'll go over to here. This is number 25. If you click through on there, oh, it just opens it. I see. So adds installation info into readme document beginning work on hash 25. Okay, so if I do git push, and then if I do git push origin enable blog, just to make sure it's going to push to a new branch on the remote, so we don't want it pushing to master. Cool. So this should technically kind of refresh, and then it should have references to our thing. Hi David, we noticed recently you created a branch on GitHub. Did you know that we'll move the issue into in progress and assign it to you if you reference it in the branch name? Oh, that's cool. So if you, here's some example branch names. So you could like reference the actual issue in the branch name. So cool. Thanks, Mary. Excuse me. And So technically in here it should, I would have thought it'd come up with the change, but I guess not. So let's go into issues, go into here. Yeah, there we go, hash 25. So that is associated with that. I guess maybe what I should have done is I should have put hash 25 on the end of enable blog, and then maybe it would have had a direct correlation with it. I think I might do that on the next one just to see how that works out. Cool. I'm going to close that now and get on with our blog stuff. So I was looking into how that is done with Jekyll, and it's fairly straightforward. The first thing to do is to create a hello world like post, really, so then we can kind of get things rolling. So if we create underscore posts, and as we remember before, underscore posts, the underscore is going to stop it from being viewed or being processed through Jekyll. So that's not going to be a problem. And then in here, we're going to have a markdown file, and that markdown file is going to be like our first blog post. So let's create a new file. File, new markdown, yeah. And we need to put at the beginning these two sets of dashes. And I'm going to just put hello world. This is the first blog post. Cool. First blog post. And we're going to put it into posts. Save. Cool. Right, now we've done that, let's check what Jekyll is doing, because Jekyll's going to go, what's happening here? So is it under first blog post .html? No, it's not. What we do need to check is we just need to check in Finder, just like, what is it made? It's not made anything. Maybe we need to designate a layout. Default. Maybe we should read the documentation. Like it says, to create a first blog post, it says create a new file in the post directory. How you name the file in this folder is important. Jekyll requires blog post files to be named according to the following format: year, month, day, title. I forgot about that. That's how it produces the timestamps, by putting them into the file name, which is kind of good for a quick glance, but can get a little bit long. But let's just do it anyway. So the year is 2015, the month is the 1st, the day is the 24th. So it's the 24th, and the title is first blog post. So I've renamed that. I'm sorry that was really tiny in there, but oh well. I did read it out, so it should be okay. Okay. Here we go. So we've got something in there. We've got hello world. And it's probably using layout. Let's try and surf over to that. So we can do, so the date, so it's 2015 of the 1st and the 24th. That, great. Okay, cool. And it doesn't have any styles, even though it's using our directory thing. Well, that's a little bug right there. Let's go in here, see doing in Coda. Here, slash, use the root. Ta-da, there we go. Got our Borman styles coming in now. And we've got the title in there. So that's working okay. That's getting it from, must be getting it from the file name. And then title casing it. Intelligent. Right, okay, so that works great. Let's do some quick commits. Git status. And we'll do git commit layouts default, and the message is amends styles path reference. Cool. And then git add dot git status. This will be in green to show me that I've just added that. So git commit adds first blog post hash 25. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep adding that to every single commit. I'm just going to do a git push to see if this is like linked to the upstreamed version, because as before, when we pushed it, when it said there's no remote branch that this is associated with, we need to create an association or an upstream. Yeah, there we go. So gives you the command git push set upstream origin enable blog. Good. Everything is up to date. Cool. I want this to update. I want to see the commits like on there. I want to see like progress in here. Am I logged in? I am logged in. Whoops, clicked on a pull request. Okay, well, no matter. Right, okay, well our new issue is our URL is massive. It's like everything, and I just want it to be clean. Kind of want it to be /blog/ the name and leave it at that, because I remember this on a very old, was it a video? Or was it? No, it was years ago when I was reading Digging into WordPress by Chris Coyer, and he said in it, your permalink structure in WordPress is very important, and it can be a right hassle if you cause collisions with the permalinks. So if you have one post or a page that's the same as a post or a page, it just like WordPress has no idea how to deal with it. And understandably so, because how can you have two things named the same? But he did say, as long as you as long as you keep your posts segregated, you can kind of like just have the name of the post as the name of the page URL, and leave it at that. And even better if you do /blog or / like a directory of it, and not bother with dates, because that's just a way to make sure that the URL is different every time almost. So it's like, don't worry about it too much. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do /blog /post title. We're 20 minutes in. Okay. We don't need this untitled file. This is still our hello world. That's our template. We don't need that again. And what we need to do is we need to change it in the config file, and this will require a restart from the, hang on a moment, that's the caching stuff. That's all like, that's Bourbon installation there. Cool. So we need to do another thing in our section, in our config section. So permalink structure. Okay, and then thankfully Jekyll has a explanation of this to pick and choose how you want your URLs to come out. So in the past I've used Pretty for it, but Pretty still kind of spits out categories, the year, the month, the day, and then the title. I don't want that. I don't want that to be the path. I want it a bit simpler than that. So let's try what we want. So where's the example? Permalink, and we want to do /blog / title, and then you put a slash on the end, and I'm thinking that will get rid of the HTML on the end of it. Yep, because look, that's got title at the end, and it's got .html. So I'm guessing that will remove it. Let's try that. Go back over here, and we're going to cancel our command and then restart it, because it has to read. Yeah, you can only read the configuration file once, and that's kind of makes sense because it's like a very important file. You don't want to be rereading that over and over, because it will just be making it work ever so hard. Normally you're doing styles and things when you're locally developing. This is just like initial setup. So server running, okay. I was expecting like a regen thing to go on. So we had, was it /blog / was it first blog post? There we go. Perfect. So /blog / first blog post, and then I guess if we go here, yeah, it's going to not understand that URL path. It's non-existent. So what we can do is I'm going to check the time again. So 24 minutes in. We're good for now. We're making nice progress. I'm going to do a little bit more committing. So git status. We only added one thing. So git commit config, and the message is going to be adds permalink structure setting, and we won't bother putting all those kind of commits into that thing. I will reference it in the pull request, because then the pull request will be the be-all end-all thing that will smash it into there. So we don't need to kind of have every single commit going on. It would be summarized in a pull request. Cool. So adds permalink structure setting. Great. We don't need to push that yet. Okay, next is a blog page, and a blog page will be something we put in layouts. So we're going to create a new file, so a new HTML file, and we shall call this blog, and put it in layouts, and there. And then if we just bring up at the same time default, if we look, we've got in default, and this is like default throughout. I think if we take this away, I wouldn't be surprised if we take this away, it will still run perfectly fine. It will run perfectly fine, but it won't know what layout to use. Haha. I thought it might default to default, but that's fine. We'll just have that there. I think we can actually set that in the configuration. That might be something to look into. Set the configuration default template to use. But anyway, we will come to that on a later date. So reload that. That's working fine. But notice that's all our content, and then that is shoved into this where content goes. And this is the entire wrapper of the file, and it just puts the hello world, and this is the first blog post, directly into here. But we want to have maybe something that kind of puts more stuff into here, that makes it different from like a normal page, or different from the default page. And we also need to loop out all the content. And when I say loop out, I mean it in a kind of like how WordPress does it, where you loop through all the posts and spin through them and create iterations of them with a kind of listings page. So we need to produce that in here. So what we can do is, just like we're doing with that posts file, is set up what templates this template is going to use. So this layout is then going to use the default layout, and then add on to it, and it's going to put itself into this area, into this content piece, which is quite clever really. So what we can do is we can put layout default, whoops, and then we'll put in here, we'll put h1, and then we'll put page dot title, and then close that off. And let's see what that does. So let's see. Well, I'll tell you what will happen. Nothing will happen, because nothing is actually using the blog template. So we need to make a page for it. So let's make a page. Now we've got index.md. I guess if we duplicate that, create index2, but then rename it to blog, and then open it up in here, we need to change all this, because this isn't going to be in blog anymore. We just need the title, put blog, and the default, and instead of using default layout, we're going to use blog layout, and we don't need this part here anymore. So we've just created a file that does that. So let's have a look what that's done in the site. Okay, so it's created blog.html. Okay. Interesting. I wonder if we need to do this where we do, because we can put in the URL here and put just blog. Is that a conflict on interest from Ruby? Maybe we need to do a couple of slashes before and after. Oh, it doesn't like that. So instead of blog, it's blog.html. Yeah. Let's have a look how the Jekyll guys are doing it, because they've got a news area. So switch to GitHub Pages branch, and then they have a posts page, and then in here, and then they don't have any URL information in here. They must have a news directory and then an index. And they've got a loop here. So you go into news, then you go into an article, and it says news in there. Oh, haha. It's not URL, it's permalink. There we go. There we go. And then, hey, there we go. Right, permalink, not URL. How silly. Let me have a drink for a moment. Okay, so we've got blog, and we can probably do some kind of fun stuff in here saying hello. Will it put it in there? No, because there's no content thing, is it? You've got here, and then you can do, whoa, too many brackets. Content. Hello. Let's take this out. Let's take this. So we've got our blog HTML template, and it's going to put the content in there, which is hello, and we shall change that to blog, like so. And then we've got our first blog post, so it's getting that from there. So in here, we don't need title. Yeah, we do for pages. We need the actual title in there. Interesting how blog posts seem to make their own title. Well, we've got that, but we've got an issue now that it just says blog, but no bloomin' blog posts. And I think the answer is here. For post in site posts. And they've got an include, which we can go into on a later date. But we can produce a loop. Which should be stated in here somewhere. Basic usage? No, these are commands. Templates. Surprised they haven't like explained that. Maybe they've done it in a similar thing. But anyway, we can put this in our blog.html template. So for post in, I don't think we need to put site posts. I think we can just put posts. So let's do a loop saying for post in post and for a post. And it's just going to say a post every time there's a post in there. So it should only come up once. It's regenerated, but it's not put a post. So maybe we do need to put site.posts. A post. Great. So that's looping through. So it's only looped it once, but we could probably like duplicate this one. Like, I wonder if I can just duplicate it in here. We can do this as a second blog post. Like do that as a test. And open this up. And we'll change this to, this is the second blog post. Let's close them, leave them as tests. Yep, so it says it twice. And we don't need our configuration file anymore. So we've got for post in site posts, a post. But we don't want it to do that. We want it to loop through and have a little bit more structure to it. So let's do an li and then tab that in and then let's do an article element and close that article and then close that list, and we'll put a UL around it. And we'll do a bit of indentation stuff. So we've got article, so we can put h2, and then we could do post.title. So that's different to page.title. So post.title, and then let's do a href. And put in here post.url. See, that's different from permalink. URL is like the entire link from start to finish. URL is the whole address as opposed to post.permalink, I guess, which is like permalink structure. Anyway, let's do that. Keep that simple. Close that off, and then put link. Second blog post, first blog post, link. This is the second blog post, link. This is the first blog post, success. So we've got like a post structure forming. We've got something going on there, and we're almost coming up to 40 minutes, and we've got something happening. It's simple, but it works. And I guess what we could then do is then I can go like this, put this into here, so h2, and then I could put some kind of description in there. And these would go through. And then what I need to do next is put onto the home page this blog section and keep it relatively simple. So let's stop there. I'm thinking what I should do is put all the videos into blog posts and then show you that when I'm done. I don't want you to sit there and wait for me to like put all these posts in before you see anything that's like of interest to you. It would save you guys a lot of time and save a lot of hassle in watching hours of me copying content over, and get all the posts sorted so it looks like a kind of blog in its basic form, and then show you any kind of teething problems or any kind of other setup. But hopefully from that you can see the simplicity there is behind creating a blog and looping through things. Um, yeah, it's just very simple in Jekyll. And we've even got like kind of nice markdown stuff happening with dates as well. So that those must be doing it in the order of the file date and time difference. So I'm guessing if I changed the date on one of these files, so if I did, if I changed this to the 23rd, it might think about it differently. That is if I've changed, that is if I've changed the right one. Yeah, maybe it just ignores me and it just does it in order. Interesting what it's doing there. Must be clever. Anyway, I will show you in the next video some blog posts that look like a bit more like a blog and a bit more of a construction of a site happening. So I will see you then.